Good day, everyone. Today, what we're going to discuss is about computer managed instruction. This will show how CMI has been very helpful for us educators or teachers in terms of generating assessment or tests, or even in terms of getting the scores or recording the scores of our students. So let's start. Now, these are the outline of this particular topic. First, we have to find out what is CMI and why we have to use CMI. What is test generation and how to use it? It will also show in here how to use CMI in terms of recording the score of the student and how to generate their scores, and also lastly, what are the considerations and issues that we can encounter. So what is CMI and why use CMI? CMI is a computer program that may be used by educators and instructors to organize and manage data related to the instruction for attaining the objective in a most effective way. In a simpler term, these are computer programs that keep student records, guide the students, and record students' progress. It also aids the instructor or the teachers in instructional management without actually teaching. Now let's find out why the instructors or the teachers should actually use CMI programs or CMI. First, it can reduce the workloads. For example, in terms of grading, scheduling, and keeping track of resources, CMI is very helpful for teachers. It also provides a good basis for evaluation of both students and the instruction. It monitors the progress of the students. And lastly, it is so helpful in terms of organization of testing and evaluation. Now, let us start with some CMI programs that are used for test generation. But what is test generation? Test generation is the process of creating testing materials for a variety of uses. The most common type of assessment or tests are multiple choice, matching type, short essay, and true or false. And the most common computer programs that are used for test generation or test making is of course Microsoft Office, specifically the Microsoft PowerPoint or Microsoft Word. Here are some examples of the printed assessment or exam or tests which are normally done using the Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint. Especially this kind of assessment or test was used during the face-to-face class. But when the country encountered pandemic, that's the time that the online class was implemented to be considered as the form of education in our country. And because of that, there are several computer programs that are used just to make sure that the lessons and also the class will become effective, especially for our students. And one of the common and most effective CMI used for test generation is the Google Forms. Google Forms is a free online tool from Google which allows users to create forms, surveys, and quizzes, as well as to collaboratively edit and share the forms with other people. You can easily create assessment or tests using the Google Forms. There are several options that can use what type of questions, like you can choose multiple choice, essay type, and there's more. You can also add images just to make sure that there are some questions that you wanted to ask with pictures. Another CMI programs that are commonly used now is the Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a free blended learning platform that is actually very helpful for teachers and educators to make their life easier. It actually aims to simplify the test creation, test generation, even the distribution process to be easier. It also helps to make the grading of the assignments of the projects to become faster and easier. Now this time, let's see how CMI is used for test scoring. A test score is a piece of information, usually a number, that conveys the performance of an examinee on a test. It is also a summary of the evidence contained in the examinee's responses in the items of a test that are related to the construct being measured. During the regular class or the face-to-face class, the Department of Education or DepEd actually provides these electronic class record ECR templates. These are free for use by all teachers to be able to use in terms of computation of grades. Consistent with DepEd Order Number 8 Series of 2015, also known as the Policy Guidelines on Classroom Assessment for the K-12 Basic Education Program. During the online class, the e-class record template is also used by the teachers or educators, but there are programs which we can actually use or the CMI programs that we can use to make it easier for us to record the grades of the students. And for our last topic, we will discuss or we will show you what are the issues and considerations in terms of using those CMI programs. One of the common issues is the availability of the technology. As we all know, not all students have the access to internet or have their gadgets or laptops to use. And even teachers need to provide their own devices just to make sure they can get along with their online class. This issue also shows that there is no balance in the learning outcome of the students because not all of the students have the availability of the resources needed for this online class. The next issue is the academic trustworthiness or honesty. Since it is an online class, the validity of the exam or of the assessment is really hard to justify. Next is the coverage of learning outcome. Since it is an online class, so there is also a limited time for the teachers to really discuss the lessons. So the tendency is they won't be able to finish the entire curriculum just to assure that the learning outcomes of the students is sufficient for his grade level. Lastly, the commitment of students. This is the concern where we really need the guidance of the parents. As since this is an online class, so most of the students are really not focused in learning. Now, with all the issues mentioned, here are some of the considerations that we have to consider. First, we have to provide thorough technological training and assistance, not only to students but also to teachers. We can also acquire learnings from different online platforms like YouTube, or we can also attend lots and lots of webinars which are also available online. The next consideration that we can give to students is the flexibility in time and deadlines. Since not all students have a good access in internet or have good devices, then we can actually provide extension of deadlines. Next is innovations and creativity. Since we are into an online class, we educators and teachers should always find ways just to make sure that all the students are participating in the class. And lastly, availability for further assistance and guidelines. We should always open our communications to our students by using Messenger or video chat just to make sure that they are all guided. This is also a good way for them not to feel that they're actually in online class, but instead that they will feel that there's always a teacher who's always there to guide them. I will end this video with a message coming from Pearson saying, "The purpose of assessment is not to gather data and return results, but to eliminate ways to strengthen the curriculum, instruction, and most importantly, the student learning." Thank you all so much for watching this video and hope you all learned something from this. And lastly, always remember that every day is always a blessing. Just keep on learning and have a nice day.